All right, welcome back, folks, to #AskGSM here today for February 8th, 2016. I am joined once again for the second time ever.
I think it's third time.
Third time? Oh, no. Second time on camera.
My goodness.
I was going to say, I forgot we did this, 2 weeks ago?
I believe so.
Right after the Rumble.
Yeah.
And you weren't on Wrestle Rant Radio last week, so this kind of makes up for it.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
It's got an internship to do.
Yeah,
it's got
exactly.
an internship.
Gotta get that bills. Gotta get those bills.
Gonna make that cash mom. Making millions of dollars?
I wish.
Millions of dollars. Well, we got a big show here today. As always, if you want to send in your questions, tweet me on the Twitter at WrestleRant with the hashtag AskGSM. Find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Graham.Jason.Matthews. RJ knows the links. Leave a comment on the post I usually put up on Sunday nights or on the wall itself, or a comment on this very video. I'll be sure to include your question in next week's video. So with that being said, wow. Well, first of all, before we get started, RJ, you just broke the news to me, and John just texted me too. It looks like tonight on Raw, Daniel Bryan is retiring. Yeah. So what's the deal with that? You read the story from TMZ.
It said that he tweeted out that due to medical reasons he's gonna have to retire from WWE.
So in translation, Vince won't clear him because of the concussion.
Yeah. And
he won't ever wrestle again.
For the company now.
For WWE.
For WWE.
He didn't say he was retiring from wrestling, did he?
No, he said WWE.
He didn't. And I told you, we talked about this before. I was saying how Corey Graves, who also had 2 concussions, had to retire. And there would have been double standards there if he didn't retire, but Corey Graves did. You know what I mean? I know one guy's higher up.
If John Cena got 2 concussions, he'd still be wrestling. That's
John Cena, though. If it was John Cena or The Rock, they would make an exception, but just because he's selling merch and stuff. And so is Daniel Bryan, don't get me wrong, but they were never high on Daniel Bryan to begin with. Granted, this is a whole other discussion for another day. You were there when he won the championship at WrestleMania 30.
Yep.
And I feel like he would have dropped the belt to Lesnar at SummerSlam anyway. And there were reports that he wanted to become a main event star. So, I don't know. Beyond that point, had he dropped the championship and never would have gone back. But anyway, let's get into the questions. We'll talk about that maybe tomorrow. Or there's a couple questions about tonight's Raw, so we'll talk about that as we get to it. The first question from Jared B. from YouTube. This was from last week, included in this week's video because he sent it in too late. But the deadline, by the way, is Sunday night. Sometimes you can get by. RJ sends it in sometimes Monday mornings. You can send in your questions.
I try sneaking in last minute every time.
We're recording this on Monday at 1 just because we have a snow day today. It's a fucking blizzard outside right now. But typically I record them around 9 every Monday morning. So be sure to send them in on Sunday nights, by the way. But his question was, do you think Brock Lesnar facing Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania is a good idea? Not that it's a bad idea. I like the match. I just feel like, and I've said this before, in that I like the freshness of the match. It's not Lesnar and Taker for the billionth time. It's not Taker and Lesnar or something we've seen a million times before. It's something new, but I feel like Wyatt losing again at WrestleMania isn't going to do him any favors, and I'm sure it's not going to help have Wyatt win. Lesnar has not been pinned since WrestleMania 29, 3 years ago, and I feel like Wyatt will not be that person. Unless it's the entire Wyatt family versus Lesnar, maybe I could see them making a case for that, but even still, I feel like even if they did, Lesnar, Wyatt, and then Strowman, Taker, I don't know, I feel like that wouldn't really work. I feel like they should have the entire Wyatt family in one match, whether it be one or the other or not, just do both. Maybe just because they're so low on star power right now, but it's not that it's a bad idea. I like the match. It's just I don't like what it does for Wyatt beyond WrestleMania, because it's just an interim deal. So it's just something for Lesnar to do on the grand stage. But beyond that point, I have no idea what they do with Bray Wyatt. I don't think they really care. They haven't cared for years, and they probably won't start caring now. But, RJ, as a big Bray Wyatt fan, what are your thoughts on the match? Are you excited for it?
I think it's a good idea. So you're saying there's no chance Bray Wyatt can beat Lesnar? Zero chance.
Minuscule chance.
It is minuscule, but I don't know. I feel like they could have the family get involved, and Bray could pick up a victory. Like I said, it wouldn't be a clean victory, but still something. Like I said, he hasn't won a WrestleMania once yet, so losing, I guess in a way he's losing to good people. That kind of gets you anywhere, but when you lose every year, it doesn't really matter. So
you're branded as a loser.
Pretty much, but like I said, at least he's losing to good people. It's not like he's losing to he lost to Cena and Undertaker, probably the 2 biggest names the last 10 years.
Yeah, he's not losing to Zack Ryder.
Exactly. Yeah. So like I said, him losing again is going to be terrible if he loses.
Yeah.
And like you said, from there, you don't really know what they're going to do with either of the guys because their direction right now is kind of, it's not lost, but they're kind of lost in the shuffle compared
to short-sighted.
Yeah, it's compared to everyone else, they're kind of just scrapped together. They're not really planned out.
Exactly. It's just kind of the leftovers from whatever the other top WrestleMania matches will be. I think it's going to be a good match from an in-ring standpoint. But if Wyatt loses again this year, I would suggest you never have him win at WrestleMania. You just start a whole other streak. For the next 20 years, he loses every other match. Every match he's involved in a WrestleMania. Start your own streak.
There you go.
Not a winning streak, but a losing streak.
A losing streak.
Go 0-20, which has never been done before. I think everybody who has ever lost at WrestleMania, I can't think of one person who's ever had that bad of a losing streak where they've gone like 0-5. Because by that point, if you lose 1 or 2 matches at WrestleMania, typically you're kind of like a loser in the company.
I bet there's some people that haven't won a WrestleMania match.
Yeah, but maybe people that are like 0-2, 0-3.
No, I bet you there's some of those guys who are in like those Money in the Bank matches a couple of years in a row.
Shelton Benjamin.
No,
but he won on WrestleMania, I'm sure, like 20. He retained the titles one year, so Benjamin's not one.
Yeah, he is. I guarantee he's has.
No, he's won at WrestleMania.
Look it up. I'm looking it up because I know it's true.
Next question. JJF Rants, also from YouTube. Should WWE replace Bryan... Oh, this is relevant. Should WWE replace Byron Saxton with Daniel Bryan as the SmackDown commentator? Would the commentary team on SmackDown be perfect? That's relevant because, like we just said, Daniel Bryan is apparently retired from wrestling in WWE. Now, I feel like the situation with Bryan is that he wants to wrestle. He doesn't want to fucking train people or manage people or do commentary. He just wants to wrestle, and if that means leaving WWE to do that, he's willing to do that. So, in theory, I like the idea of Daniel Bryan on commentary. So I would be fine with them putting him on commentary. I'm not a huge Byron Saxton fan. He's not terrible. He's just very bland, in my opinion. I've never really cared for him. But Daniel Bryan, like I talked about in an article a couple days ago for Hidden Remote, cheap plug, I feel like he could be a great asset to the SmackDown announce team because he knows what he's talking about. Obviously, he knows the moves that are going on in the ring. He would focus on the story. He wouldn't be fucking bickering with JBL and God knows who else on commentary. I mean, this is SmackDown, so him and Mauro Ranallo would make a great pairing, along with the now rejuvenated Jerry Lawler. But yeah, I feel like he'd be good on commentary. So RJ, would you like to see Daniel Bryan on commentary now that he is apparently retired? You know, Jared sent that in before obviously the news broke. But what are your thoughts on that, and can you give us an update on the research that you did?
I think, like you said, I'm not a big fan of Byron Saxton either. I think just keep him on Raw. You don't need him on both shows. And Daniel Bryan would probably be like a fresher commentary than, like you said, I don't know, Byron Saxton's probably one of the worst. I'd rather have Booker T, honestly. I don't know. I think Byron Saxton's so vanilla, and like just so bland. Like he doesn't bring anything else. He feels
forced.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Daniel Bryan, like you said, in any role, I think it'd be good for him. But if he doesn't want to do that, then you can't really force him. And so far, Superfly Snuka 0-3.
Okay, so that's not... I mean, I'm talking about like 0-5.
Okay, I'm looking.
Okay, he's looking.
Coco Beware 0-3.
Okay, but still, I want to see... Was that What Culture?
Or Truth 0-3.
Okay.
These all guys suck. Finley 0-4.
Oh, okay.
See, I told you.
It's only going to get
Crush
worse.
0-4.
Crush. Finley is a good one, just because he's...
MVP 0-4.
Okay, I could see that. Never won a Money in the Bank ladder match.
Goldust is 0-4.
Okay. Let's see if anyone's 0-5.
The Dudley Boys are 0-4.
Wow, they never won a WrestleMania. That should change this year.
Mr. McMahon's 0-4.
Okay. But the owner of the company hasn't even won a match at WrestleMania.
Jeff Hardy 0-5.
Jeff Hardy, wow. Okay, that's a good one.
There you go, 0-5, Jeff Hardy.
Okay, the new streak.
There you go, Jeff Hardy.
Jeff Harvey. Love Mike Adamle. Next question. Also from... No, this wasn't from JJF. Oh, it was. He's got a couple questions. I'm sorry. These are from him. Do you feel Luke Harper will be the breakout star of the Wyatt family? Do you think so?
I think he's kind of already been the breakout star of the Wyatts, but
I mean, he's already an Intercontinental Champion
for like a month. But I think if he was given, I don't know. The only thing was like when you see him by himself, you just think of them. It's like when he was by himself, you still like aligned him with them.
You thought he should have been with them.
Yeah, it's not like. I don't know. I think yeah, exactly. I think like. I don't know. I think like they should like let Harper like pursue a singles title while he's still in the Wyatt family. I think it's like. Kind of like they just kind of like Bray's henchmen. They don't like do anything.
Yeah.
Like when Evolution was around, like they did help Triple H from time to time, but like Orton was the IC champion, Batista and Flair were the tag team champions. You can say the same thing with the Cabinet, with Orlando Jordan was the United States champion.
Yeah,
and the Bashams,
stories, yeah.
And the Bashams were the tag team champions, but they still like at the end of the day would help JBL when they need him. I think they should do the same thing with the Wyatt family, especially Harper. I think he has untapped potential that they really haven't given him the chance to show.
I agree. I think you can phrase this into two different questions. Do I feel like he could be? Yes. Do I feel like he will be? No. Just because of Braun Strowman, and they obviously really, really want to push him. And RJ's got a lot of
Red?
I don't know about that.
I would not lose a speck of sleep if he got fired tonight.
You said that yesterday. I mean, he got fucking squashed by Big Show last week in less than a minute.
I would sleep like a baby if he got fired.
Ryback, he destroyed him on SmackDown, too.
No one cares about Big Red.
No one gives a shit about him. No, I don't think he will be a breakout star. He should be, but he won't be. I mean, he's the only one in the group that has held in singles championships. That's something. Before Bray Wyatt, so that's an accomplishment in and of itself. His third question: who do you want to see on Lucha Underground Season 3? So RJ and I were shooting this around before we went live here on the show. I don't really know, because the only two people that I really wanted to see when I heard the show was first happening like 2 years ago was Del Rio. When he got cut from WWE, I felt like he would be a perfect fit, and he was, for as long as he was there for the first season. And Rey Mysterio, who has also since joined Lucha Underground. So other than that, I mean, it depends on who we're talking here. Like, people that are in WWE right now, or people that are like can realistically join Season 3 by like next month. You know, I'm not going to say like John Cena, because he's going to be with WWE.
Brian Kendrick. He's from the LA area.
Okay, I can see Brian Kendrick.
I was going to say Paul London, but I don't know if he's still wrestling.
And he's like an asshole.
Oh, he's an asshole now.
He is an asshole. Look it up. He's an asshole. It does not
Brian Kendrick, then that's who I want to see.
No, that's a good one. I like that.
I'm honestly trying to think of people. I can't really.
No,
Brian
I can't
Kendrick's
think of any.
Kind of like
off the top of my head.
Off the head, yeah.
No, he lives in the LA area. Great worker.
Bring Eva Marie with him. Sell self.
Get that heat.
Yeah,
Get
exactly.
the easy heat.
Money
she
heat.
would fucking die. Put her in the ring with Katrina. What was his name? Yeah, the Brian Kendrick in WWE. But Jack Evans is someone who, he was on the last season, and he was a great wrestler. I don't know if he's a part of this season. I hope he is. But he reminded me a lot of Brian Kendrick, so it'd be cool to see him in WWE. And he's in pretty good shape. I'm not pretty good. I mean, the guy's like fucking 30 years old. I'm not saying like he's 50, but he was in NXT. He was on NXT that around this time last year for a one-off appearance, remember?
Yep.
He had a pretty good match with Balor, so I would not at all be opposed to that. What are your initial reactions to NXT newcomer Rich Swann? So you may not know who this person is. I'm pretty sure he was on the episode a couple weeks ago.
He got squashed by Joe, I believe, right?
Yeah, you saw the match.
Yeah.
Was it Joe or was it Corbin? Well, I know you definitely saw the match, but I don't know if you knew who he was.
I think it was Corbin.
I think it was Corbin, yeah. But he was like... he didn't really do anything, so it's hard to describe, but if you look him up, I'm sure you know who I'm...
I'll see what he faced. I think it was Corbin.
Pretty sure it was Corbin, but I liked him. I thought he was a good worker. I've heard some things about him before he made his debut. I've heard, positive feedback regarding him, and that he has an upside in WWE or in NXT, whatever. I was impressed. I mean, it was a squash match. There's really only so much he could do, but for a squash match involving Corbin, he got it in a lot more offense than I thought he would, so I thought it was a really good match. He had a good showing. We haven't seen anything of him since. I mean, granted, that was 2-3 weeks ago, so it's kind of logical because they tape, a couple.
Yeah, he lost to Baron Corbin.
It was Corbin, yeah. He had a good showing, so I was impressed with what I saw. I would like to see more of him. I mean, who else was like, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. All started out as job guys in NXT. I already know who they were, but they started out as job guys in NXT, and that kind of got more showcase potential. Like, Ciampa won a match a couple weeks ago, so...
They faced, like, Danny Burch. Though.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that's what I mean, though. But they're finally getting enough time, enough, more of a platform to showcase their skills. But from what you saw of him, from what you remember anyway, RJ, were you impressed with Rich Swann?
Swann, yeah. I was, but I don't know. I think, like, it's kind of hard to get through now for NXT, especially with all the big names going in. Like, he could have a great performance, but I don't, like... There's so many guys ahead of him that's going to be hard for him.
On the packing order,
Even Bull Dempsey, he just recently got fired. He was on NXT frequently and got the pink slip. So
even the worst people in NXT are still good at best.
Yeah.
At worst, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, Bull Dempsey was good. I mean, even like Sylvester Lafort, who wasn't amazing. Marcos Louis, I couldn't give two shits about. But Sylvester Lafort, I thought he was a good manager. But Bull Dempsey got the cut a couple days ago.
Once they turned him into a comedy act, I kind of figured.
Yeah, once he went babyface too and got the new music, I figured he's fucking done. The new music was shit. I hated it. It
wasn't good, no.
No. Even like Mojo Rawley, who's improved, he's not good at all either. He's easily the worst performer they have other than Eva Marie, and they've both improved. So that's NXT for you in a nutshell. But I think he's good. Like you said, though, I think you make a good point that they have so much star power in NXT right now. Austin Aries, Baron Corbin, Finn Balor. The iPad. Breaking. Daniel
WWE
Bryan announced today that he's retiring from in-ring competition, effective immediately.
WWE is even.
They confirmed that WWE on the iPad. So yeah, we'll see what else we see from Rich Swann in the future. The first KFC from YouTube. Should Rusev and Lana be taken off TV for a few months to rejuvenate their characters? What do you think?
No.
Oh, really?
I don't think if you took them off... Well, that's you, but I think... I don't know. I don't think if you took them off TV, people would really... I think Lana is just alone. She just does nothing for him now. Once they split him up that one time and they went through that whole terrible Dolph Ziggler stuff, it kind of just tanked his career, and he literally hasn't done anything good since. So honestly, I think if you took him off TV 3 months and then you bring him back as a monster, no one would care because he literally was like kissing babies and hugging fat girls like 2 weeks ago. So I say you just keep him how he is now. I think you should go back to being Russian. I think the Bulgarian stuff's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
And then just have him win. If you just have him win a couple like bigger matches, people will start caring. When you lose every week to Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose, no one cares. They fought like 100 times on SmackDown. He loses every time.
Always loses.
Or he wins like via like DQ or countout. Like no one cares.
Yeah, or he loses via countout.
Yeah, exactly. It's stupid.
Can't remember the last match he won in a singles match anyway. But
Ryback TLC.
Oh yeah, it's true. We were there.
How do you forget?
Yeah, exactly. Worst match of the night.
I think you're getting your food that time.
No, I got my food during the Divas entrances. Sorry. I wanted to see Feed Me More. I'm a huge Ryback fan, so I wasn't going to skip his match. I don't care about Rusev, but... So I agree with you and I disagree with you. I agree that they both need to be rejuvenated. I disagree, not you, but the question is what I meant. I saw the rejuvenate part, and that's what I wanted to say yes to. Taking him off TV for a few months, I don't think that's really necessary. I don't really care about that. I feel like Lana was off TV for like 3 or 4 months. It's not like she came back as like a hot act, yeah. So I don't think taking her off TV is not really the answer. In some cases, I agree. In this case, I agree with RJ in that you just need to fucking book them better. You know, if they take time off TV and come back the same way they are now, no one's going to give a shit. If anything, they're going to be less relevant because they're not on TV. They're just, it's not that they're being booked badly right now. Just Rusev's a loser. Around this time a year ago, he was facing fucking John Cena at Fastlane, and he beat him for the U.S. title.
Then he came out of a tank and everything went downhill.
Came out of a tank, and then his career tanked from that point forward at WrestleMania. It's pretty much the way to put it from that point forward. But yeah, taking him off TV is not going to do anything. Like you said, the Rusev and Lana pairing, I like them better together than separate, but going through the whole split and then putting them back together for no apparent reason other than Lana saying that she loved him, and it was just a very bad episode of a stupid-ass soap opera. Ruru. Oh, God. To get a prenup.
That was the best part.
And then they tanked it, though, next week.
Next week they just dropped the whole angle.
Scrapped the whole angle. But yeah, you don't need to take them off TV, but you just need to book them better because right now nobody cares. Would the Wolves be top guys in TNA or any other promotion if they split up? You know, that's a good question. I think it was Jared, actually, at JJF Rants, who we answered his previous questions. He said in an article for Next Year Wrestling, cheap plug, last week that the Wolves should split up at some point this year and be in a singles feud over the World Championship. In TNA, I feel like they can be top singles guys just because they have no star power. Like, literally, they only have Jeff Hardy and maybe Kurt Angle's on his way out. EC3 is good. I like Matt Hardy. I like... Beer Money, but that's about it. They don't really have like stars. They have the talent, but they don't have like household names. That being said, I like the Wolves. They're really the only tag team they have other than Beer Money. Their tag team division, other than those two teams, is not very strong. So they need those guys right now. Down the line, I could see them being single stars. You said any other promotion. I mean, they were in a singles feud, or they were feuding over the world title in Ring of Honor several years ago, so that's obviously possible there. Not in WWE. I would never see them being singles guys in WWE, maybe even NXT. They would bring them in to be a tag team, not to be anything more than that. As singles guys anyway. But do you like the Wolves, RJ? And do you see them ever at any... I know you don't watch TNA, but at any point down the line being singles guys, do you think they would flourish as singles performers in TNA or elsewhere?
No, I don't know much of their work, but I know that one of them gets injured or both of them get injured a lot.
Yeah, all the time, yeah.
So I say just keep it as a tag team. I think that's where their money is right now.
I agree. They're one of the best tag teams in the world. It's not quite as bad as the Usos. What if they split up the Usos? I wouldn't give a shit at all. Like, would you care about the Usos as single performers? No. I think the Wolves have their own identities because they're not twins, so I think it kind of helps them a little bit in that respect. I like Davey more than Eddie, just from... I think he's got a look of like a selfish prick as a heel. But other than that, I can't see them doing much in any other place other than TNA. When should Emma come back to the main roster?
after.
If ever.
She should be back. She should have been on the main roster a while ago.
Okay, yeah.
But, that's a tough one. So she hasn't done much in NXT at all. Lately, at least. I'll say after Bayley comes up.
Okay. So she goes up after Bayley goes up first, and then Emma?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to give you a concrete timetable for this. I would just say bring her up when she's exhausted every possible feud she can in NXT. Like with Becky Lynch, I thought they brought up way too soon. She's doing fine now, but let's face it, people. Like before, she was fucking being buried for like the entire 2015. Wasn't she?
She wasn't buried. She wasn't
buried. Okay,
she wasn't buried. You're using that term loosely now, Graham.
I am.
She was just not utilized at all. She wasn't buried. She
utilized.
It wasn't like she lost all the time. She just never got used.
She was the
lapdog.
She was the lapdog for Team PCB. Yeah. She was the lesser of those three, and she's not in real life, but she was, from a storyline standpoint. But anyway, back to Emma. Yeah, I feel like when she's exhausted every possible feud in NXT, because people
pretty close now.
Yeah, she's pretty close. I mean, like Charlotte. She should have been up a long while before she was, but with her anyway, she did everything. She faced Bayley, she faced fucking Sasha, she faced even Dana Brooke. She did every feud possible, and that's when they called her up. So same thing with Emma. I feel like she had that great feud with Asuka, and she's kind of doing the thing with Dana Brooke right now. They can bring them up as a tag team. I feel like that'd be better for Dana because she's not quite there yet. She's gotten better, but she's not at the point where I would say like, call her up ASAP as a singles girl. Which isn't completely out of the question. I thought the same thing about Rusev. They called him up within months of him coming back in NXT a couple of years ago. And I didn't think he was ready, and he was fine. So we'll see. But Dana Brooke, I don't think, is a great worker on her own yet. But Emma, though, if they bring him up as a tag team or just Emma, period, they would have to use her differently than how she was used the first time. I think that kind of goes without saying, but she has so much. Yeah, she has so much talent.
She was
I feel like
joke when she debuted.
Yeah, she was a joke in being paired to Santina. So if you stray away from that formula and you have her come up as the badass heel she is now with the great glasses and the look and the new da 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 dun 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 da 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 dun, that whole thing, I think it's great. I think that's a good gimmick for her. I like the babyface Emma, but it flopped like a fish in the main roster just because they didn't know how to handle it. So I'm not going to give you a concrete timetable, but whenever she's done everything there is to do in NXT, then bring her back up, like Tyson Kidd. Next question from Frankishire15, also from YouTube. With Ryback's new Goldberg-like attire, will we see Ryback versus Goldberg at WrestleMania this year? I don't think so. I don't think that's an indication. Just because he got new attire. I mean, Ryback's always trying to change up his character, so I think it's more of a case of that than them trying to tease, a match between the two at WrestleMania. There were rumors coming into WrestleMania 30 they were going to have a match because Ryback did the fucking jackhammer and he was doing his taunts, and that led to nothing. And in talking to Goldberg, first, I don't think he's going to be there, period. But if he was, he's not coming back for a match against Ryback. I love Ryback, but he's not coming back to fucking face a mid-card guy at best. He's coming back to face a main event level guy. He's coming back to face Triple H. Okay, he hates Triple H. Maybe not Triple H. Or The Undertaker, or Batista, or John Cena even. He's not coming back to... Or even Roman Reigns he wouldn't face. He's going to face an established guy he knows he can make money with. He didn't even know who Roman Reigns was. When I asked him in the interview, he didn't care. So, he's not facing Ryback at WrestleMania. I would like to see him at WrestleMania. I've never been the biggest Goldberg guy, but you know this already.
What? I thought he was your favorite.
He's my favorite of all time. I've watched all of his matches. I have all of his matches on DVD. I have the DVD itself. I have all of his T-shirts. I don't actually, but I do like Goldberg. Like, I've never been... And you know this, I've talked about this with you before. He's not like a guy like, I need to see back tomorrow. But if he did come back, I would mark out. Like, if he came back tonight on Raw, I would fucking jump through your window 5 times. Because I think it'd be cool. Just because, for me as a fan, I've never seen him in WWE. So it's more of a case of that. But, period. Long story short, I think that match is not happening at WrestleMania. If he is at WrestleMania, he's not facing Ryback or fucking Zack Ryder. He's coming back for either John Cena, Taker, or Batista, or some other guy like that. So what are your thoughts?
I just don't want to see... I don't think he's worth facing Ryback.
No. They could pay him a bunch load of money, but he's not coming back for a fucking match with Ryback.
Especially if he's going to lose. It's awful.
Yeah, exactly. He's not coming back to lose. He's beating whoever he's going to face. I'm going to tell you that right now. That's just the way that he works, and that's Goldberg. So, no, he's not coming back to face Ryback. And even if they were going to do that match, it's 5 years too late. They should have done that years ago. Like when Ryback was a heel... and he was kind of saying, I'm better than Goldberg, maybe then, but now it's not happening now. Who's your least favorite Hall of Famer? To me, I don't really have one. I mean, RJ's got a couple here. I don't really. I mean, like Coco Beware, but that's not really someone I don't like. I could see the argument that he doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame. He's not someone I don't like, though. I put like Drew Carey and Arnold Schwarzenegger. I mean, I just put them in there just because I feel like they're worthless in the Hall of Fame, just because they were on TV for a cup of coffee, literally. Like they were there for 2 shows. They're in the Hall of Fame, but whatever. I don't really have one, but I know RJ's got a couple.
Rikishi's got to be on the list.
No, you were ranting about that last year.
I was very disappointed when he got in. I'm trying to look at the list because I know there's plenty of people that shouldn't.
I thought you liked him as part of the Annoy family.
Oh my god,
the Annoying family.
So bad.
Do you like that video or the article that WWE put up over the weekend?
Yeah, I saw the best family of all time, the Annoy family.
The ultimate Annoy family. Fuck you.
I think Edge got in too early.
Yeah, I agree.
Say that. I'll say I don't know if he should be in the Hall of Fame. I think he got inducted too early.
Yep. Not your least favorite Hall of Famer though.
Booker T's kind of on there too.
Yeah, in too early.
DDP,
case.
I could say.
He's not in.
Yeah, he is.
No, he's not. Diamond Dallas Page.
No, he's not. Who is it? Jake the Snake.
Yeah,
My bad, guys. Sorry.
Edit that one out.
I'd probably say the 3 guys I just said then. Booker T, Edge would get in eventually, but he got in way too early.
Yeah. That's from a case of him saying that they belong in there, but it's too early though. It's not
Rikishi doesn't belong in there.
You just don't like Rikishi.
Yeah, I just don't think he deserved to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And who else did I say?
Edge and Booker T.
Booker T is kind of on the hinge too. He really didn't do much in WWE. But Rikishi's way worse than Booker T, I'll say that. Rikishi is the worst Hall of Famer of active wrestlers. Maybe Coco Beware is worse. Yeah, probably Coco Beware is worse. But in like the last 10 years, Rikishi has to hands down be the worst. Like I thought it was a joke when I saw it on TV.
Yeah, when he was
like he did nothing.
The induction video, just him slapping his ass and shit. Him doing
he looked like a fat lesbian in a thong. Like, come on, guys.
Got the banana hammock though.
Oh,
that's Krista Joseph.
Like. Even as a heel, it was supposed to be his best run. He still sucked.
I did it for The Rock.
Stupid.
Got him in the Hall of Fame.
Somehow.
He's a part of the Annoying
Scotty Tuati and freaking Grandmaster Sexy got him in the Hall of Fame.
You know what? They put him in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, exactly. He didn't even thank him in the induction speech. Didn't even thank him. What a prick. What a prick.
The Annoying family.
Yeah, exactly. The only reason he got in was to add him as a stat to say these are the amount of Annoying family members in the Hall of Fame. That's it.
Probably.
Like with Rocky Johnson and fucking
Yokozuna,
the Wild Samoans, and I think that's it. Wild Samoans, Rocky Johnson, Peter Maivia, and Rikishi. And Yokozuna, that's 5.
Yokozuna, oh my god.
And later Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is going to be done.
Roman Reigns, the Usos, the
They're
Rock,
all going in.
Rosie.
Manu's going in next year.
I'm surprised Umaga's not in yet.
He should be, though. If anyone deserves to go in, it's fucking Umaga. He didn't have a Hall of Fame level career, but he did more than Rikishi did.
Yeah.
He did. Better matches, too. Andre G. From Facebook, moving to the Facebook questions here. Have you watched any of the TNA Asylum videos on YouTube? If so, what are your thoughts? No, I have not watched them. I don't really care. I like TNA, but I wasn't a fan. Like, if they had videos of when I was a fan and when I started watching, like in 2008, maybe I would watch it, but no, I mean, the videos are like an hour long, and I don't really have the time, nor do I really care, and I'm sure you haven't watched it either. Any thoughts on that? What
the hell is it?
TNA Asylum. The TNA Asylum years videos that they post on YouTube are the early years of TNA. Like the 02 to 04 era.
No, I didn't see it.
No, yeah. It's like their version of like their network, I guess.
I don't care either.
No, yeah, I never saw it. What's your favorite Bound for Glory pay-per-view? I'll start with you, RJ. Have you seen any BFG pay-per-views? And if so...
My favorite is Victory Road 2012.
That's not a BFG pay-per-view.
I don't care.
2011. It was
2011.
Sting and Jeff Hardy's his favorite TNA match of all time. Right?
Yep. I honestly haven't seen any of the Bound for Glories.
Yeah.
Didn't Styles face someone good at Bound for Glory?
He faced Sting in Florida.
Then that's the one I'm going with.
The one in Florida,
The
right?
one in Florida.
He faced Samoa Joe in Florida, too, according to WWE.com.
I'm going with that one. So
in Universal Studios.
He did.
He did, and he won.
So what's your favorite one?
My favorite BFG pay-per-view, the ones that I've seen, I thought 2010 was good, 2011 was good. My favorite would probably be 2012, just because that was my favorite year for TNA, just because I thought all year they did some amazing work and going live every week, and it culminated with a great Bound for Glory. Austin Aries versus Jeff Hardy, great main event. My favorite TNA match of all time, period, took place at that show. Bobby Roode, James Storm, no holds barred, the the culmination of a great feud between Beer Money members. That was great. A great card from top to bottom. Really enjoyed it. So easily BFG 2012. And his third question here, what are your thoughts on AAA not paying their talent, which makes some want to leave and work for Lucha Underground? Wait a second. But not paying their talent, which makes some want to leave but works for Lucha Underground. Okay. So I think I understand your question. I did not hear that report. I'm not too high. Not high. I don't really pay attention too much to the Mexican wrestling scene or other than Lucha Underground, but that's, we watch it here in the States. I don't know where you can watch AAA. I never heard that, but it's kind of scummy. I know TNA did that before, not that specifically, but they wouldn't pay their fucking talent, they wouldn't get their checks in on time, which I think they're still doing, not now, but they were as of a couple months ago. So if I'm going to criticize TNA for it, I might as well criticize them for doing it too. I think it's just kind of a scummy thing to do. Wrestling or anyway, if you went to your internship, RJ, and are you getting paid for this internship or not? Just an internship, right?
Just an internship.
So if you had whatever for your job and you're not getting paid on time, would you not be pissed?
I wouldn't go to work. It wouldn't be worth it.
Exactly. So it's just a scummy thing to do. Yeah. So do you have any thoughts on that?
Let's go to Lucha Underground and get money then.
Exactly. Get paid by the temple.
By the temple.
Dario Cueto pays people on time. He was in the Super Bowl yesterday.
I saw that.
See that?
Kid loved it.
Oh, loved it. Marked the fuck out in the Super Bowl commercial. Dario Cueto. I think I saw Pentagon Juniors. See in the middle.
I don't think I saw
There wasn't it. Love me some Dario Cueto. The guy is the farthest thing from a wrestling fan or whatever, but he is the best actor that you could possibly have to play that role of Dario Cueto.
Yeah.
He's pretty good. And you're watching Lucha Underground now. We'll talk about it a little bit later. To answer your own question, because you sent me a question, you'll be answering your own question pretty soon. Mark S., also from Facebook. Who would you like to see the New Day face at Fastlane for the tag team titles? Who do I want it to be? There's no fresh teams right now that make sense. So, who do I think it's going to be? The Usos. That's really the only team that makes sense based off what we've seen in recent weeks. So I'll say the Usos. There's no one team I want to see them face just because they've exhausted all possible options. Maybe the Social Outcast. They beat them on SmackDown last week, so I don't see how they can get to that point. But they had a good match. It was entertaining, so I'll go with the Social Outcast. But who do I think it's going to be? The Usos. Any thoughts?
I'd like to see Harper and Strowman. But that's
I agree.
I'd like to see that, but it's probably going to be the Usos or Social Outcast.
Yeah. And for the full scenario that RJ pitched for seeing Harper and Rowan or Strowman versus New Day, check out xnwrestling.net. New article, RJ's 2 cents. This whole video is RJ's 2 cents. But that's
pretty much.
That's your column, right?
Yeah.
RJ's masterpieces. The Marceau masterpieces.
Marceau masterpieces.
I love it. Love it. There's no specific day. They just go up. Whenever RJ's in the right mood, they go up on the website.
They do.
I love it. 2 new articles in the last 2 days, and the last one being in Lucha Underground. And his next question.
We already answered that one.
I already answered that. There were rumors of Ryback and Goldberg. Talked about it
I'd like to see it's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. Would like to see Goldberg at WrestleMania, period, though. I don't think it's going to happen. Oh, RJ's going to have a field day with this one. Recently on WrestleRant Radio, you said you didn't like The Undertaker versus Braun Strowman.
Didn't
think. I'm sorry, I misread that.
Oh, my goodness.
Botching here on the show, people. This is uncensored. No, I don't edit this shit. What you get is raw material. You said you didn't think The Undertaker versus Braun Strowman would be a good match at WrestleMania. What direction do you think WWE should take with the Black Sheep, Braun Strowman? So I'll give my 2 cents first, just because RJ's got a lot to say and he's got a lot more logical points than I do. And my thoughts on this are kind of already documented, so I'll keep it short and brief. I don't really want to see the match just because I feel like there are better options for Taker, because I know people are freaking out like, if he doesn't face Strowman, who the hell is he going to face? They got a whole roster of people he could face. He could face fucking Finn Balor, Kevin Owens. He could face Jericho for all I care. It would make for a better match. I just don't think Braun Strowman is ready yet. I don't agree with the notion, period, that he's going to be a top guy, but I just don't think he's ready right now to face Undertaker. Going from the rumored match with John Cena to a match with Braun Strowman, I feel like is a major step down. And we shouldn't count out John Cena just yet anyway. I feel like he could be back in time. We'll see. John Cena's fucking Superman. RJ shaking his head. You don't think he's going to be back?
He could be back, but if he's back, he'll be wrestling hurt.
Yeah, he won't be 100%.
No.
But I feel like that's John Cena's MO, just to come back, period. Even if he's 10%, he's going to come back and wrestle. And he'll rest further injury, but that's John Cena, and he won't be the first time. But those are my 2 cents. I've already kind of talked about it, like Mark said. I talked about it in the YouTube video here on the channel last week, so I won't go more in depth with it. But RJ, pretty much repeat, which I thought was a really good article. And I don't even agree with the notion of put him in the ring with Taker at WrestleMania.
I'm not saying you have to put him in the ring with Taker. I just think that...
Give your 2 cents.
That the negativity that he's been getting is kind of unwarranted, because when you look at all the giants that we've seen the last 10 years, like, they're not good workers. I'm not saying, like, Strowman's going to go wrestle a 5-star classic because he's not. He's, like, just too big. It's, like, to the point that, like, they're just too big. Like, Great Khali was easily the worst. He couldn't even walk. I don't know why they thought he'd be a good wrestler. If you can't walk, how the hell are you
for 10 years, exactly. He
couldn't even walk. I don't know how the hell he'd be able to wrestle, but whatever. But I just think, like, I think they should limit him to just a tag team with Harper. Do I think they'll do that? Probably not, because they're just trying to, like, push someone quick and try to get a big buck on something that probably won't work. But I think I said if they're going to do a Taker and Strowman, put, like, a DQ step in there, like, that could just hold, like, then you have to worry about just, like, all in-ring stuff. You could just, like,
brawl.
Weapons and all that stuff would just hinder all his weaknesses. They said, supposedly, that he has more in the tank than he shows, but you can only take that for what you get.
For what it's worth,
like the dirt sheets.
Yeah, I mean, we could have a match and be like, oh, this is going to be total shit, but then the match could be great. But I feel like, even with that, that's good for us. Like, oh, wow, the match exceeded expectations. It's not good for the company, because going in, I don't know if the casual fan cares about that match or not. I don't know. Ask your roommates. I mean, would do you think Murphy would want to see that match at WrestleMania? Because I know he's a big Black Sheep fan.
I don't know.
Or do you think even he recognizes, like, that match and it might not be good?
I don't know.
We'll see him. We'll ask him tonight.
We'll ask him tonight. He does like Black Sheep, though.
Well, so we'll see. But I feel like even then, if the casual viewer, if one person, we'll say, says, oh, that match is going to be shit, I won't buy. If the match exceeds expectations, you're not getting that person's money regardless, because they already decided on not buying the shit.
Yeah, but there's also this other side, like, oh, like, this match looks really good, and then it's like Undertaker and Lesnar, and it sucked.
That's true, and they already had their money. They don't care if the match blows or not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but in this case, I feel like the match could be shit, and that's the general
literally
perception.
The streak getting broken, like, overweighs of how bad the match really was.
Yeah,
it was not good.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I think at this point, breaking the streak was the worst thing they could have done. I mean, it's really benefited Brock. This is a whole other discussion for another day, but at this point, when it comes to matches like this, I would be more interested if the streak was on the line. Like, oh crap, like Strowman could break the streak.
Yeah.
But at this point, I'm like, oh, okay, he beats him. What happens next?
Yeah, once he beats him, he ends the Undertaker.
Puts the 2 in 22-2. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I think the kind of
at this point, I don't really care. Like the whole Wyatt thing was even that was pushing it last year. And I don't want to see the match at WrestleMania, but I do agree with RJ's his opinions on that he put in the article. Check it out, by the way, cheap plug. That he can be. That the hate is unnecessary. I agree. I was hating on it. Not that I don't like Strowman. He's my favorite wrestler. I got him in the Royal Rumble game. Got him at number 17. Not that I hate the guy. It's just I don't want to see him in the ring against Taker at WrestleMania. I just feel like there's other options, so we'll see. And I think other people asked the question about that. We'll get to that soon enough. Recently on Main Event, the Primetime Players team back together. Do you think they should have continued their separate ways or go back as a tag team? I don't really care either way. I love the Primetime Players, but it's not like they're going to face the New Day again. What was that? We'll go back to that question. I apologize. RJ, thank you. Otherwise, I would have skipped it altogether. Mark has another question. We'll get back to you momentarily. But, yeah, I feel like as a tag team, I like him. O'Neal's doing more than Young is. Young is not even on TV as a singles guy, so it's not like it matters. And they're not going to go back after the tag team titles right now. So put him back to... I don't think it really matters either way. I mean, O'Neal's doing fine on his own. He's winning matches. I don't really care. Just because you're not giving us a reason to care. So just keep them the way they are.
Good guy in the community.
He's a good guy. That's about it, though. No promo time.
Exactly. I don't know. I could care less if they're separated together or fired. I don't care.
I mean, whoa, jeez. Whoa, where did that come from? Jesus. I'm making a living. Can't feed the homeless if he's not getting paid.
Go work somewhere else. It's not like
go back to the Gators.
By his own, like on his own, I don't care. Like him
getting
or
both.
Both.
Yeah.
Like beats Tyler Breeze, beats like
give me a reason.
Cody Rhodes or Stardust like 100 times. I don't care.
Yeah, don't give a shit. There is speculation that Samoa Joe will be promoted to the main roster soon. What is your view about this? Should he stay in NXT if he went to the main roster? And if he went to the main roster, would he get lost in the shuffle? Any thoughts on that?
If he's not given the right direction, he could definitely get lost in the shuffle, I think.
If he comes up as Samoa Joey or whatever the hell his name is. Or
Joey
Samoa, I'm sorry.
If you're just like, he comes up and just does mid-card stuff, then no one's going to care. You kind of have to like inject him into a feud that people will actually care about.
Yeah.
If you just say he comes up and does a Tyler Breeze flop, then no one will care.
Yeah. I feel like when I read this question, when I put it down, I'm thinking... He has so much talent. I feel like with Balor, not quite to that extent. I feel like it's going to be hard to fuck him up. Just the fact that, like Tyler Breeze, they had to tread very carefully with him, and they fucked it up because of his gimmick. Same thing with Neville. I mean, he's an amazing talent too, but because of his size, he was already kind of walking on eggshells when he got to the main roster, just because if they didn't treat him like a star, people would think of him as a loser just because of his size and whatever. Despite being a great wrestler, Evan Bourne was a great wrestler too. Didn't get above a certain level because they didn't promote him a certain way. He never got mic time. Neville's got better mic skills than Evan Bourne ever did, but that's what the first thing I think of when I think of Neville is Evan Bourne. Just based off the way that he's booked. Air Neville. Air fucking GOAT. Whatever. What's his name? Red Arrow. Shooting Star Press. Red Arrow. Air Russo, exactly. Samoa Joe is just, he feels special. Like, especially now, he's come so far as a heel in the NXT since when he debuted. He's done some great work. I feel like if he comes up, I can't see him jobbing on main event. Like, Kevin Owens is another guy like that where I can't see him jobbing. I mean, he's been losing a little bit recently, but he's not jobbing. He's not like Tyler Breeze level. Yeah, he's not on Superstars every week, so it's not quite that bad at all. He's doing pretty well for himself. Same thing with Samoa Joe. They need to treat him properly, but even then, if they didn't, he could end up like KO tier guy, where he's like mid-card at best, which I feel like is pretty good for Joe. So I feel like he will be promoted at some point. I don't think that was the initial plan, but he's turned so many heads in NXT, I feel like it's only inevitable at this point. Moving into the Twitter questions, at HardyDX what is your WrestleMania 32 prediction card? So right now I'm thinking Triple H and Reigns, Lesnar, Wyatt, Taker, Cena. I'm still saying that, or Taker, Strowman, but I feel like Cena could be back in time. Ambrose, Jericho, at this point I'm not really sure, but we could get Owen Styles. Any combination of those four guys for the IC title I'd be fine with too. But yeah, easily Triple H, Reigns, Lesnar, Wyatt, or Taker, Cena, or Taker, Strowman. So those are the three matches. Or, I'm sorry, I forgot to put this down too. Charlotte, Sasha, and Becky. So any of those matches seem like they're set in stone. And I still say WrestleMania can still be good. Can still be very, very good with that kind of card. So any matches that I didn't include here, RJ, that you feel like are locks for WrestleMania, or anything you predict will happen?
I'd say Taker and Strowman's more likely than Cena.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be a multi-man tag match. Not saying I want to see it, but they do it every year. Yeah. And then
the Battle Royal.
Battle Royal, and I don't know what you do with Kalisto. So
yeah,
Kalisto. Don't do him and Sin Cara, God forbid.
Kalisto, Sin Cara #booking.
Don't do it, please.
I'd rather see that than have him put in the Battle Royal.
Yeah,
with the
but
title.
Still, like Sin Cara Negro again. Like God,
no, that was bad. That was a bad feud. I don't want to see. What I don't care about seeing, who I didn't include in the card, League of Nations. I just put him in the Battle Royal. I do not care.
But then against Social Outcasts.
Sure. Have Social Outcasts win.
But then against the Wyatt family.
I'd do that, but I feel like that's not happening.
Yeah, because they need the other people.
So I would do that match, but I don't think it's happening. At RJ_Marceau, I wonder who sent this question in, huh? This is a
I don't even know. The worst part is, like, I'm trying to think of one.
Yeah, this is as soon as you sent this in, I saw, look at this. So just to kind of give a play-by-play here. I'm sitting here, send out the tweet, go da-da-da. So look at my phone. Oh, from at RJ_Marceau, he's got a question. And his question was, trade 3 guys from Lucha and NXT. Who in make fair trades? Haha. No Puma for Dillinger. And I saw that. I'm like, I got a challenge. It took me longer to answer this question than any other question. You guys send in great questions, but and not to stroke RJ's ego here, but he's got a lot of good. He's got a lot of good questions. This is good. This is one of them. I don't like the multi got to do this like the multi pointed questions. That's not this question. No. It just makes you think. So for me, I put kind of cheating because all these guys were formerly in WWE, but I said Apollo Crews for the Mac. Both guys are very impressive in the ring. The Mac, like you said last week when you checked out Lucha, he's very, very good. For a guy his size, too, he's pretty damn good as a wrestler. Baron Corbin for Cage, I thought was a good fit. Cage was not in WWE. So was the Mac, but they were under developmental deals. The Mac never even debuted. Cage was an FCW for a cup of coffee before he got cut, so I don't really think that counts. But Corbin has come a long way. I feel like even he could flourish in Lucha. Cage is just, that guy is fucking good. I know you saw him last week. I don't know if you saw him wrestle at all. But the guy is what he calls himself, what he claims himself to be, is a machine. Like, he's a really good wrestler. And finally, I put Alexa Bliss, I put her in Lucha for Ivelisse. I like Ivelisse. She was also in NXT at one point, very, very briefly back in 2012. I thought there was a lot more they could do with her in NXT, and I still believe that. So if she came back, I feel like she would she would flourish. I feel like I heard a rumor that she got cut because of good old, what was his name, Bill DeMott, and sexual harassment. So now that he's gone, maybe that fat piece of shit's gone. You could bring her back. RJ loves Bill DeMott.
How do you hate Hugh Morris?
You mean General Erection?
Yeah.
It's a classic. But those are my picks. Bliss for Evilise, Corbin for Cage, and Apollo Crews for the Mac. I thought they're pretty solid picks. So RJ, you asked the question. Now you can answer your own question.
I honestly I'm trying to think of people and I can't Balor for Mysterio.
I like it.
Balor for Mysterio.
I like it.
Bring him back, please.
Here's the thing, though, and you mentioned this yourself. We were talking about this yesterday while watching the Super Bowl, while Dario Cueto was on the Super Bowl commercial, that there's some guys, and we texted about this too, that other than the former WWE guys like Chavo and Mundo, I can't see a Mil Muertes or even a Pentagon Jr. not getting over.
Who was the only one we were talking about?
If he took off his mask, yeah. Other than that, there's not many guys that could see not getting over, but not getting over, but the fact that WWE would treat them as properly as they are in Lucha. Mil Muertes is a badass. He legitimately kills people in fucking Lucha Underground. Drago, I don't know if you've seen him. He breathes fire. They wouldn't have that same thing in WWE. It's a completely different universe. It's so unrealistic, but that's what makes it fun. You know what you're getting with Lucha, and it wouldn't work in WWE. No. Pentagon Jr. would not be able to break people's arms in NXT, so that's why I don't say him. But yeah, I would love to see Mundo back for another round. But, so who did you say?
I said Mysterio for
Balor. Balor would be great. Mysterio, give him a couple surgeries.
Oh my god.
Couple more knee surgeries.
Here we go.
Love Mysterio. He was one of the nicest guys I ever met.
But I said if anyone would be Puma, would be the only one that would actually translate, I think.
Yeah, well, you said NXT, so if you meant the main roster, if you said the main roster, I'd go Del Rio. Put him back, please. Please put him back.
I should have put WWE, damn it.
But I like the NXT. It was more challenging.
Yeah.
Less people to work with.
Yeah.
Arguing his good questions. At Swagzio, I always love that username. His question was, is The Miz underrated as a wrestler and talker? Now, I did a whole article on this, so I'll let RJ kick it off. Do you feel like The Miz is underrated as a wrestler and or as a talker? He's not a huge Miz guy either, so I understand.
I'm not.
I understand if he says no.
Underrated. I think I don't know if he's underrated. I think he's kind of where he is where he belongs.
Agreed.
In wrestling. I think he's one of the better talkers. That's why he kind of has his own show.
Yeah.
Even though it's kind of a joke, but I'd say wrestler he is where he is, and I think he's one of the better talkers.
I agree. As
a
wrestler,
he's underrated, but
as a wrestler,
as a talker, he's underrated.
Yeah, no, he's not a 5-star Matt Classic wrestler. He's come a long way, and he's had a couple really good matches, but other than that, he's not underrated. As a talker, I would say he's underrated. I feel like people do recognize his ability to, connect with a crowd on the microphone, but, he still gets a lot of shit from the fans, which is fine. People are not going to like The Miz. I'm one of the few Misfits out there, but I feel like people don't give him his just due as a talker. And I feel like last week's promo and Miz TV kind of opened a lot of people's eyes in terms of what he's still capable of on the mic. He was one of the best mic men in the company 5 years ago when he was getting pushed as WWE champion, but he kind of fell down the ladder with all the terrible pushes and the characters and the gimmicks. But now that he's going back to doing what he's best at in the Hollywood gimmick, which is great for him, a great fit, people are finally starting to recognize that he is as good of a talker as he says he is. And his second question, push, repackage, release. Bo Dallas, Heath Slater, Curtis, Axel. This is a good question. I would say push Dallas, which I know you're happy with, just because of those three guys, he has the most potential. He's not going to be WWE champion, but he is entertaining.
What?
You think Bo Dallas can be WWE champion? Do you believe Bo Dallas can be
believe it would happen.
Believe it. That's your next article. Satire, maybe?
Maybe.
We'll see. I would repackage Slater. I feel like he's good, but the whole one-man rock band thing overstayed its welcome years ago. And I would get rid of Axel. He's the best wrestler of those three, but he's got no personality. The whole Axel Mania thing was great, but the guy's a racist, so you can't do the gimmick anymore. I'm sorry. Other than that, he's got nothing. That was the only time I ever really cared about Axel. Other than when he repackaged or re-debuted as Curtis Axel years ago, he lost so many times that people just did not give a shit. And he's just not exciting. He's good in the social outcast, but on his own, I don't care. So I would get rid of him. He's already kind of reached the pinnacle of his career in WWE. Slater, I would repackage and push Bo Dallas.
I'd push and repackage Bo Dallas and release Slater and Axel. I cheated
a little bit.
I cheated a little bit, but I did it.
I like Slater. I feel like he's entertaining.
I don't know. Slater's... He's just done the same tired ad for so long.
He was for me too, but he started growing on me. When he showed up in Brooklyn, I think, the final Raw of last year, when he showed up, and he was like, hit Slater's music, baby. Like, I thought that was entertaining. I thought it was good. I'm getting more of a kick out of Axel Slater than I ever did before. Adam Rose, hey, they baby.
If I had to push a package release any of those, it'd be him. He'd be the worst.
Get rid of Adam Rose.
Hey, they baby.
Hey, they baby. Hey, it's the best thing he's ever done on the main roster. I'm not saying much.
It's sad, too.
It's sad, but it's true. At FiorNick579, what are your Raw predictions for Monday night in Seattle? Daniel Bryan's retiring, so we know that much.
I was going to say, Daniel Bryan's going to retire.
Other than that, I don't know. I'm always looking forward to Raw. I'm a fucking mark. The show is not always great, but I'm always like, Monday night, 7:59, RJ's place. I'm ready to watch Raw. But Raw prediction, Daniel Bryan's done. Yes. Not that I'm happy that Daniel Bryan's retiring, but I'm just saying that, yes, he is retiring. Second question, who do you think should win Money in the Bank this year? Good question. I think we have the same answer here, but I want to know what you think.
I'm going to say Kevin Owens.
Yeah, that was my same answer. I was going to say Kevin Owens. Like, I put in my satire article, I put in my bold predictions article, Kofi Kingston. Because he deserves it.
He deserves it, but he's not going to win.
He's not going to win. But Kevin Owens, I agree. Either him or Dean Ambrose, but I feel like Ambrose is already towards main event. He's main eventing the next pay-per-view. Kevin Owens has never main evented a pay-per-view. So I'll go with Kevin Owens.
Yep.
KO. Future WWE champion. Do you think Money in the Bank at WrestleMania should make a comeback? No, just because they have the pay-per-view. It's good as a pay-per-view. And they have the Battle Royal, the whole get everybody on the show kind of thing. If you put it back at WrestleMania, get rid of the pay-per-view. But I like the idea. I don't like TLC as a pay-per-view. I don't like Extreme Rules is all right. Hell in a Cell needs to go. But Money in the Bank is the one.
Tell us what you feel, Graham.
Is the one match stipulation where it was already like Money in the Bank happens every June, every July. You know, if it went back to WrestleMania, it would just happen every April. There's not really a difference there. You know, the only difference is that you get everyone in a match at WrestleMania, but they're already kind of doing that with the Battle Royal, so it doesn't really matter. But no, I think I would mark out if it went back to WrestleMania, but that means you would get rid of the pay-per-view, and I like the pay-per-view, so... And you were at the pay-per-view in 2014.
Yeah.
It's my favorite pay-per-view of all time, Money in the Bank 2011, baby. Love that pay-per-view. Chicago. CM Punk is the WWE champion. Punk wins. It's done. It is a great promo, though, right?
Yeah, it was good.
Good promo. So what would you do?
I would like to see it come back, but I think the pay-per-view, like you said, it's like the one of the B shows that actually sells.
That actually look forward to.
I think, not like bring it back, but I think that they should make the Memorial like Battle Royal for something. Like they should get like a mid-card title chance or something.
At the next pay-per-view.
Like that. Instead of bringing the Money in the Bank back, they should just like whoever wins the Andre the Giant Memorial gets like an IC title or a US title match.
I agree.
Make it mean something because no one, like a big trophy that's there for 2 weeks and they get rid of.
Cesaro
like, I forgot Big Show won last year.
Good. The guy was a loser. Did nothing.
Knocked out Miz down.
Oh, God. Don't remind me. I think it was in that room 111, right? Or no, we're 111. 109's over there. No, 109's over there. I don't even know. I don't fucking know this floor. But we were right in that room over there. Big Show won. I was like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Literally facepalm when Big Show won that Battle Royal. Hopefully it's someone better this year. It's probably going to be Kane or something. Next question. When Cesaro comes back from injury, do you think he should finally get the push he deserves? Big difference here. Do you think he should finally get the push? Obviously. Do I think he will get the push? No.
Same.
I mean, there's really not much more to say than that. People say, like someone else asked me a couple weeks ago, do you think if Cesaro didn't get hurt, he would finally get the push he deserved? No. He was going to be in a feud with fucking Stardust.
Yeah.
He'd be on He'd be the same place where he was before, people. It's not like he would have been world champion. Despite all the injuries, Cesaro was not going to get pushed to the moon. Trust. I don't know that for a fact. I'm just telling you. It's not going to happen. He should be, but he won't. Would you mark out if it was Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles one-on-one? Well,
I would, but that's not going to happen.
The guy just retired, so it's not happening. I would love to see it, but it's not happening. I would mark out, hey, maybe we see it in NEW 10 years from now, but in WWE, it's not happening. At Sean Markistic, push, repackage, release. AJ Styles, Cesaro, Daniel Bryan. Great question.
Easy one now.
For this one's kind of easy. Oh, super easy. I already have it written down, too. I would push Styles. The guy's a star. They've already done very well by him so far in his time in WWE. Repackage Cesaro and release Daniel Bryan. I mean, this was before he retired that I wrote this down, but I put that because He's already been a world champion. Styles hasn't, or at least in WWE. Cesaro hasn't. He's still got some hope left. You just need to give him the right push. Styles is fine, just push him. Daniel Bryan's been there. He's done that. He's done everything there is to do, so I would release him. I know he's over and stuff, but he's already retired anyway, so that kind of answers that question. But what would you do?
I'd do the same. Push Styles, package Cesaro, and release Bryan.
Agreed. Next one is a little bit harder, and you're not going to like what I put.
I can see it already.
I know. That's what I'm saying. You're not going to like it. You can leave the show now if you like. Push, repackage, release. Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, and Bayley. This is a really good one. And I had to push Bayley, not because I am a little bit biased, okay, but she's just so perfect the way she is. She's my ultimate crush. I love Bayley. Did you see that video that went up over the weekend?
Oh, I saw it.
Made me cry tears of joy. Push Bayley. She's good the way she is. Repackage Banks. So she's not whatever she was in NXT. Make her do that on the main roster. And just because she's the lesser of the three, release Becky. Release the wrath of RJ. What would you do?
I'd push Becky, repackage Banks, and release Bayley.
Get out of here.
The one person I definitely want to get rid of was Banks. I think she's the biggest money, the money component there. I think, like you said, make her a little bit more like she was in NXT, but can't release her.
Can't release her. No.
She's already kind of like, I don't know.
She's the boss.
She's the boss, exactly.
She's over.
She's probably has the best future out of all of them.
I agree.
Easily.
She's
we don't even need to push her because she's related to Snoop Dogg. And
I was gonna say, did you know she was Snoop Dogg's cousin?
Yeah, she is. So we don't have to worry about pushing her because that's gonna inevitably happen. So
exactly. What will the main of this year's SummerSlam be? What will it be? I wrote it here.
I saw what you put. I'll change it up. I'll say.
Well, you said in your article what your prediction is for this year. Do you want to share that with the people?
I don't remember, honestly. You probably do. I don't know.
I do. You only wrote it like a month ago, but it was a while ago. I don't blame you for not remembering, but it was a really good one. So, do you have any idea what it could be before I say what your article was?
Was it anything like that or no?
No. Oh God, it was a bold prediction. It was your boldest prediction of all. It was a 4-way with.
Oh yeah. I said, this is very bold. I said,
their definition of bold.
Charlotte versus Sasha versus Becky versus Bayley in the main event. But
I'd love to see it.
I think that'd be great, but I doubt that'll happen. So I'll say Rollins and Styles.
Ooh, okay.
I see what you have, so I'll just tweak it a little bit.
I like that idea. I would mark out we're going to be there regardless. I already got my tickets for SummerSlam, for Raw, for SmackDown, for both years.
Yep, both years.
And TakeOver. How can I forget TakeOver? For both years, too. That's like 8 shows in fucking 2 years. I already paid my fucking student loans off. I took that money from my student loans, put it towards these tickets. But anyway, I put Roman Reigns and Rollins just because I feel like by the time Rollins comes back, Roman Reigns will be champion. Rollins should be back by that time. Book it. It makes perfect sense. The match we didn't see at Survivor Series, we finally see it. Hopefully, God forbid, no one gets hurt. But that's the match I think we will see at SummerSlam. Next question comes from Brad Burdar. Can you rate the booking of the Wyatt family on a scale from 1 to 10 since Hell in a Cell? And you might agree with me on this. The booking of the Wyatt family, let's see. So Bray Wyatt loses at Hell in a Cell. They look like fucking losers at Survivor Series. I mean, I like the Taker 25th anniversary shit, but did nothing for the Wyatt family. Lost there. Won at TLC, won a couple matches on TV, which was good, got some momentum. Looked like losers in the Rumble. Bray Wyatt did pretty fine for himself, and now they're probably going to lose to Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. So, up to this point, since Hell in a Cell, I'd give it 5. Maybe 4. But, I mean, they won a couple matches, so I can't say, like, 1, but it's just, it's gotten to the point, like a few people have said they've broken them. The WWE has broken them about caring about the Wyatt family. It's not that I don't care, but I care a lot less about the Wyatt family than I did a couple months ago even, just because their booking is so asinine, I guess is the best way to put it, because it's so even Steven booking that I just don't care anymore. Because I know they're going to lose when it matters most. So I'd give it 4 or 5, maybe 4.5. Would you be more generous or worse?
I was going to say like 3 or 4.
So we're in the same ballpark.
Because, like, the win against TLC, really, like, you kind of...
ECW Originals, I mean, they're good matches, but...
You knew they were going to win.
Yeah, they knew they were going to win.
And then, like, they had the momentum going to the Rumble, and they just flopped, kind of.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't look strong. Like, they looked strong until Lesnar came in, then he just tossed them all out.
Destroyed them all, yeah.
So, I'd say 3 or 4. That's not been good.
It's not been good. It probably won't be good going into WrestleMania, to be honest with you. What do you think of the Social Outcast theme song, personally? I think it's awesome. I don't really mind it. I think it's... If anything, I don't like it or love it or hate it or anything, but I will say I think it's a nice change of pace. I think it's a lot better than doing the whole, I'm a 3-man band, or whatever Heath Slater's previous music was. It makes no sense because you have 4 people in the group, so I'm glad they gave him new music. I like the Social Outcasts. I know RJ only likes Bo Dallas, but I like them all as a group. I care a lot more about them now than I did a month ago or 2 months ago before they, paired up. But yeah, I think it's good. Nice change of pace. RJ, any thoughts?
Well, I think it's good for what it is.
Good for what it is. Unlike Big E and Xavier Woods, who play their characters to perfection, do you think Kofi's New Day antics feel forced? Personally, I don't think so at all. I think they're all great. I think even Kofi especially, just because he's never been a heel before, so it feels refreshing. And perfect example, go back and watch from last Wednesday. Their sit-down interview with Michael Cole on WWE.com. It's also on YouTube. And Kofi Kingston, Michael Cole's asking them questions about their upcoming title defense or whatever it is. And then Kofi just berates Michael Cole. He goes, so do you literally think that you're good at your job? Are you good at your job, Michael Cole? And Michael Cole goes, I'm passable. And then they just start breaking out like a pack of hyenas. It's hilarious. They start laughing. It's great. Go back and watch it. But any thoughts on Kofi Kingston?
I think he plays his role fine. I think
they're all great.
I think they're all good, so I'd say they're all good.
Especially Kofi Kingston when he's doing like the popcorn stuff.
And the clapping.
And the clapping. Big E's great. Xavier's great. Love New Day. What's your New Day shirt?
It's snowing out.
It's true. Gotta dress warm.
Gotta get my Daniel Bryan shirt on tonight, though, so catch my tears.
There you go. I guess the tear.
Catch my tears.
Put a couple tissue boxes over.
I might have to change the background on my Twitter.
You might have to. You're gonna have to X him out. Who's Daniel Bryan? Because you were there, right?
Yeah, I was there.
You can forever say you were there for the birth of WrestleMania, Michael.
Well, that turned out.
Gonna end it next month. Face Kane in throwaway match at Extreme Rules.
Main event.
Why?
Okay.
Hey, she plugged. Check out RJ's 2 cents from last week. Seth Rollins' top 5 best WWE matches of all time, where he ranks Seth Rollins' best 5 WWE matches. I was going to say not ranks, rants on the main event of Extreme Rules being Daniel Bryan and Kane, which I do not agree with either. Anyway, getting back on track.
Whoa. I think you liked the archives up. I think we were pushing for it at the time.
And Restaurant Radio?
Yeah, I think we were. I honestly think we were. You might have to bust up the archives.
I have to bust out the archives, but I will say this. In my defense, I said the main event has to be Shield and Evolution. You were like, Daniel Bryan just won the belt. He should be the main event. So that was RJ's
you might have to check it.
Hey, it wasn't me.
Archives.
Hey, don't put me in this. Don't start burying me with the shovel. Where's the shovel?
I think if you looked at the archives, I think we both agreed that the title should be in the main event.
Maybe. Check it out after
I think maybe we said at Payback it should have been the main event. Because Shield and Evolution fought 2 pounds. Because then we're like, oh, Kane and Bryan wasn't that good, so the other one should be in the main event.
But
Shield and Evolution 2 should be main event. Yeah.
He didn't wrestle though. He didn't wrestle though.
Just check it. Check it. I say check the archives.
Check the archives. Next day wrestling.net. Check it out. Cheap plug. So, did you bring in your shovel from outside when you were shoveling the snow? I knew you brought it in here to kind of bury me under the snow.
I think you agreed, but
I mean, we'll see. It was a while ago. My memory's a little foggy.
Yeah.
We'll check it out after we're done here. His next question, his final question here. No, I got 2 questions, sorry. Oh, they didn't last long. Do you think Christian's heel run in early 2014 was really underrated? I don't think it was like super underrated, but yeah, I thought it was underrated. I thought Christian as a heel was good. I mean, I loved the 2011 run as a heel, but when he turned heel he was only heel for like a month before he got hurt, but I thought it was good. He had a couple good matches with Sheamus, and he had a really good match with Daniel Bryan on Raw, and it was a nice change of pace. He tried to change up his character before. He didn't know he was going to retire, but he did. Yeah, I think it was underrated. Any thoughts on Christian's very brief heel run in early 2014?
I don't even remember it.
I mean, he got a nice little run out of it, not with the title, but he was in the main event of Elimination Chamber for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, so it's a nice way to go out. So I thought it was good. And he also won the number 1 contenders match. He won his last match with the company before he, quote-unquote, retired. Fatal 4-way. I know RJ doesn't remember.
I don't remember it. If it wasn't good, I don't remember it. Not the biggest Christian fan either.
Pete for life.
Not me.
One more match.
One more time to lose.
One more time to lose. I know you're going to be watching the Edge and Christian show on the WWE Network.
Not one episode.
Feels forced,
unless someone
right?
I like is in it. It's so forced.
It's a great show.
Right, next question.
Better than Ride Along, right?
Is there a new one yet? Or is it just the first
It's out tonight.
All right.
Woo! Might have to stay over at your place to watch just Ride Along. It's only for like 20 minutes. Anyway, I know you have to go to bed there because it's internship tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I have to be for 11 though, so maybe we can stay up a little bit early. Yeah, I might be able to stay a little bit later than that.
We'll see. Next question. Push 1, turn 1, face or heel, switching it up here, and fire 1. Alberto Del Rio, Cody Rhodes, and The Miz. You're not going to be surprised with my fire 1, Del Rio. You can change these 2. I said push Miz and turn Rhodes just because I'm not going to turn Miz babyface. Like, I thought that would work a couple years ago, and it didn't. And I still feel like they botched that, and that was their fault, not Miz's. But anyway, it's another article for another day. I would turn Rhodes and make him babyface, get rid of the fucking Stardust shit. He didn't say repackage, because I would go for that. So I would turn Rhodes face and push Miz. He doesn't have to be WWE champion, but you could push him a little bit more. He doesn't want a match in fucking 10 months. So he could use a little bit of a push on Raw or whatever. But what would your lineup be here?
This is a tough one.
Push Del Rio, right?
Viva la Raza. I'd probably...
Viva Del Rio.
If it's just Cody Rhodes, I'd just push Cody Rhodes. It didn't say Stardust. So I'd push Cody Rhodes. Oh, fuck. I'm not the biggest fan of either of these two, so... I'd say... Oh, my God. I don't want to see either of them heel or face. So, screw it. I'm going to push Del Rio. I'm going to turn Rhodes and fire Miz.
What? What?
I hate Del Rio, too. What? But I'd rather see him on TV than Miz.
Wow.
I don't like the Miz at all.
Oh, my God.
Face or heel, it doesn't do it. I don't even like Del Rio either.
You like Del Rio more than Miz, though?
I don't know. I don't like Del Rio at all. But I think he makes more pesos for the WWE.
So you're going to fire Miz. You know what? I'm going to fire Del Rio and do you one better. I'll fire Del Rio and have him get hired by Lucha Underground.
Good.
They don't want that piece of shit after he cried after losing to Johnny Mundo at Lucha Underground at Ultima Lucha Season 1. I don't want to come back because you had me lose. Oh, fuck you, you piece of shit. At E13... Don't tell him I said that. I love Del Rio. I met him. He's the nicest guy ever. I saw him smoking around wrestling. I have all his t-shirts. Anyway. At E13A. Maybe it's just me, but do you think Brock Lesnar is losing his aura?
No.
RJ. No, I don't know.
I don't think he is at all. I think obviously he's not to the level that he was at before. I don't know. It's not like he's losing his aura. I just think that, like, he's... I don't know. I think, like...
Here's the thing.
It's not like he's a tired act.
No.
It's just like, I don't know, he's kind of like in a spot that's like, it's not like, he's bigger than what he's in.
I'm not super excited for Wyatt Lesnar right now.
Yeah.
If he was in a better feud, like the thing with Taker, I thought we had seen a million times before, but I was still excited for it. He hasn't lost his aura. He still feels special. And I do agree, I've been saying this forever. I like the idea of having him on TV more with a better contract and appearing for more dates. I think it's awesome. He's not losing his aura, in my opinion, but I do agree that he's not even not as hot. It's just that the whole thing with the Wyatt family, I just don't really care. Like the whole Royal Rumble booking where he got tossed out by the eliminated Wyatt family members and he just walked to the back was very head-scratching to me. So I guess that kind of did it in terms of losing his aura. He didn't lose his aura, but I thought that was weird. I'm kind of confused, I guess this might be the word for it.
How do you think that he should have just go back and destroy everyone and then leave?
Exactly. It's Brock Lesnar we're talking about here. He's not going to be like, oh well, I'm eliminated and just walk to the back. Like
that's what he did, though.
That's what he did.
That's why I kind of like...
Yeah, exactly. I'm not excited for Lesnar, but just on that one night, I was like, why? How do you feel about Finn Balor's recent injury? Well, it sucks.
Get healthy.
That's all really what we could say. I think he will be a takeover. We got 2 months, and it's a sprained ankle. He didn't break his neck. He's not Daniel Bryan here, people. Thankfully. But yeah, I think it's not that bad of an injury. He'll be back. Any injury is awful. I don't know what fucking gypsy Vince McMahon ran over to get all this bad luck with all the injuries, but the roster's suffering from it. They got that injury bug in the water somewhere in the company. I don't know what happened, but anyway, get healthy, get better soon. We really want to see a takeover. I already got my spot saved in the RJ Marceau couch, in the Marceau dorm, Marceau residence for Takeover Dallas. So be there 4 days in a row for Takeover, Hall of Fame, WrestleMania, and Raw. Be there all night. I'm going to have a 4-day sleepover at RJ's place.
There you go.
Save a spot for me in the ground. And watching old Attitude Era pay-per-views, Raws, and even SmackDowns, I feel like the mid-card and tag teams didn't really pick up until 2000, 2001. 1998 and 1999 didn't do much with the IC title except for Triple H and The Rock. The closest the tag team, aside from New Age Outlaws, they should have spelled it out instead of doing NOA. That seemed particularly memorable is maybe Kane and X-Pac. In general, not a lot of those standout matches until guys like Angle, Benoit, and Jericho were arriving. What did you think of the 98 and 99 mid-card scene from what you have seen? I agree. It's not that it was bad. I don't really like watching Attitude Era pay-per-views, period. At least from that period, from 98 and 99, it's just a lot of chaos going on, especially 98. Which, like, if you watched during that era, I could see why you liked it. It's not as bad. It's just not my cup of tea. But anyway, no, I agree. I feel like the wrestling picked up in the time that you mentioned, 2001. I thought 2000 was hands down one of the best wrestling years for this company. And the people that you mentioned, Jericho came in August 99. Angle came in November of 99, and Benoit and the rest of the Radicals came in 2000. So obviously the wrestling was going to pick up around that time period. There weren't a lot of great tag teams in 98, 99. We had the fucking New Age Outlaws, like you said, but other than them, we had what? The Legion of Doom, who by that point were kind of nearing the end of their run. We had the Disciples of the Apocalypse or whatever else. So we had Nation of Domination, which was good, but wasn't really a tag team. It was more of a stable. So I agree. The mid-card and tag team divisions didn't really pick up until that time period. So I know you really haven't watched a lot of those pay-per-views, RJ, but any thoughts on that?
No idea.
No
I've
idea?
not seen any 98 or 99 stuff.
Other than Big Boss Man Taker, Hell in a Cell, which is your favorite cell match of all time, right?
It's up there.
WrestleMania.
I thought it was great,
15?
honestly. But
It's great.
thought the ending was kind of edgy, but
A little tasteless,
gotta get the fans, guys.
Oh my God.
They've done worse stuff, I think.
They have done worse stuff. I'll agree with you there. At Scarlet One, how much experience do you have with the NWO? Wow, this is a great question for you. I didn't grow up with the NWO, but in watching back old clips, I started getting into the NWO around 2010. I don't know what for whatever reason, but I got exposed to the NWO. Fucking love the NWO. Got the T-shirt. Love the theme song. Love the guys. I love the NWO. Just a cool faction. I feel like if I grew up in a different era, and I was born earlier, and I was watching throughout the 80s and 90s, I feel like I would have been one of those people that was wearing those T-shirts all the time. I would have been on the NWO bandwagon for life. Love NWO. That's why I always do this in like photos and stuff, because I fucking love NWO. And the Bullet Club, obviously. But anyway, what is your experience, RJ, with the NWO and your first ever pay-per-view being the day that they came back to WWE? This is a perfect question for you.
It is a perfect question for me. The first pay-per-view I ever watched when I was became a fan was No Way Out 2002, and it kicked off with the NWO, and honestly I had no idea who any of these people were.
Some Mang? Hey, yo.
I was so lost. I had no idea what was going on. Obviously, I did like my homework and figured out who they were, and like I said, they did their skits with The Rock and Stone Cold were really good. I love the Stone Cold one. Brought you some beer. I'm not thirsty. And then throws him over his shoulder. It's so
the
great.
Rock one was
the
the
Rock
best.
one's good too.
So Diesel.
And then, like I said, then they had a lot of and then they went to WrestleMania, and then they had Hall versus Austin, and then Hogan versus Brock.
Oh.
Then they had Hogan got hit him with the 18-wheeler,
Yeah.
the ambulance, hit him. I think he always carried a crowbar or something. He always hit people with a crowbar, I believe.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that, some weapon. And they did the NWO, and then right after WrestleMania, they broke right up.
Yeah,
and then
they did after that.
And then they did the Kevin Nash, Booker T, Shawn Michaels NWO
Big
for a little bit. Big Show.
Yeah, Sean Waltman.
Yep. They did that for a little bit, and then that eventually died, and then they didn't do anything since. So besides WrestleMania last year, but I kind of got them to watch them at the end of their run, or pretty much their WWE run. I've seen all their WWE run.
Yeah.
So right when they debuted in 2002 was good, but that was kind of short-lived.
So as a mini Marceau watching your first ever pay-per-view, being exposed to Hulk Hogan for the first time, when you're like, that guy's a racist.
I might have.
That might have been your first inkling.
I think so.
Might have been that guy might be a racist.
I think so.
That's why he's not wearing the black and white shirt. He's just wearing the white shirt.
Yeah.
He's racist.
Racist.
Mini Marceau watching No Way Out 2002. Are you still writing that article on the pay-per-view, by the way?
I'm still writing. I just started rocking Undertaker, so.
Ooh, it's a great show. By the way, perfect.
It's on YouTube.
Perfect
Segment.
It is on YouTube. Check it out. Check out my review of the show up from this past Saturday, No Way Out 2002. But also about that show, you should publish that article on the 14-year anniversary.
When's that?
17th.
Perfect
day of the month, by the way, but just because it's the 14-year anniversary of what is it, NWO coming to WWE, the pay-per-view. It's a great pay-per-view, by the way.
Good show.
You can expect, and that's a Wednesday this year, the 17th, but you can obviously bet that day I'll be wearing my NWO t-shirt, like I was last year. I'm like, NWO for life. Gotta get an NWO t-shirt, RJ. I love the NWO. You don't want to support a racist, though.
Yeah, that's why.
You don't have my money went to Hulk Hogan before he was racist, or he was already a racist by that point. Now I feel bad. Anyway,
so you're pretty much a racist.
I'm pretty much a racist. I'm sorry.
Because you're supporting a racist.
Yeah.
This is the big ordeal.
It's a big ordeal. Finish off here. Final two questions from Matt Scarlet One. Have you heard about Scott Hall's idea for the WrestleMania main event this year? So his idea was Roman Reigns versus Triple H and The Rock being in Roman Reigns' corner, Shawn Michaels being in Triple H's corner, and Daniel Bryan being the special guest referee. So here's the deal. It's a dream match. It's a fantasy main event. It's so convoluted, like something a fantasy booker would do. But again, at the same time, if that match happened, I would be like freaking the fuck out. Like, it's amazing. But we talked about before, Daniel Bryan, a special guest referee, unless he goes
Why would
heel,
he be the referee?
It just makes no sense. No. Maybe if you take him out of the equation, it's just Michaels and Rock, and you get a little interaction between Rock and Michaels for the first time. But then again, I'm thinking like this would be like the upteenth time where we've had Michaels involved in a Triple H feud. He is always involved in Triple H's feuds to get them over because otherwise people don't care. His feuds with The Undertaker, both years, in 2011 and 2012, he came in. When he feuded with Brock Lesnar, he got involved in the match at 29. When he faced Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 30, he cost Daniel Bryan the title at Hell in a Cell 2013. When he faced Sting last year, gave Sting a sweet chin of music at WrestleMania. This guy is always fucking involving himself in Triple H's feuds. I don't blame Michaels. I blame Triple H just because Triple H isn't anything without Shawn Michaels, it seems like, at least in recent years. So I wouldn't be shocked, but I think if that did happen, I would love it because it's cool and we would get to see Michaels and Rock together. It would infinitely make me more interested in that match at WrestleMania between Triple H and Roman Reigns. So what are your thoughts on Scott Hall's idea?
It's a good idea, but it will never happen.
Won't happen, and it makes no sense for Daniel Bryan's purpose anyway. Just makes no sense.
The only reason it makes sense is to go against their authority, but he's kind of over that hump, I think.
Yeah, no, I think
that was 2 years ago.
Yeah, and he can't even take any bumps at this point anyway, so it's not happening. Final question of the day, drum roll please. If you got into wrestling during the 80s or 90s, where do you think your place in fandom would be? So I don't know exactly what you meant by this question, but I've always said, I don't really know if this answers your question.
Oh, goodness.
But I've always said that I'm happy that I started watching when I did. I know I've only been watching for 8 years, and that's like a cardinal sin for some people, surprisingly enough. RG, you've been watching. It is a cardinal sin.
What's that mean?
Oh, it's just like it's terrible that you've been watching for 8 years. Like that's ridiculous. Especially like when someone asked me, I think it was 2 weeks ago. Not to be disrespectful, but they were like, "So you write for all these websites, and you've only been watching for a short period of time?" I'm like, yeah, I mean, whether you've been watching for 8 years or 8 weeks, it really doesn't matter. I mean, obviously, if the longer you watch, the more you know a little bit. But there are people that I know that have been watching for even longer than you have, for 20 years or whatever. Know fucking nothing about the product because they don't give a shit, That has nothing to do with it. But anyway, I've always said that I'm happy I started watching when I did it. Because if I was born in 95, okay, as I was, and I started watching as early as the Attitude Era, my parents
creepy best, and you don't even know what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. Or if I started watching when you started watching, like in 2002, my parents would have never allowed me to watch that stuff at all. I started watching.
That bad.
They would have never when. I remember one segment, late 2007. This was around the time I was flirting with watching wrestling. This was before I officially got into it a couple months later, but it was late 2007, and there was a segment backstage when Hornswoggle stole Melina's towel. And my father was like, you can't watch this. This isn't appropriate. I'm like, Dad, it's not that bad. And he was like, you're only in 7th grade, whatever. But, if you thought that was bad, imagine, the shit they were doing with, Katie Vick and all that garbage, too. The Dawn Marie storyline, TV off for, a whole month. Get grounded for 2 months.
That was a great storyline. They got married and
died in the honeymoon after they had sex too hard, anyway.
My parents never watched SmackDown with me, so I got
there you go. They never watched ECW with you either.
Well,
Kelly.
Different, too. That was great, though. It
was good times.
Good times.
But the best part about those years is that now I can go back as an adult and I can watch that, and it's okay. Not going to get grounded because I'm of age. Just kidding. But anyway. So I'm happy when I started watching when I did. I mean, I would have loved if I was born earlier, if I was born in the 80s, I would have loved to be an 80s kid. I feel like if there's any decade that I would have fit in more than I do now, it would be the 80s. I love the 80s. Just everything about the 80s, I love it. So I would have loved to have grown up in that era along with the 90s. Maybe not mid-90s when we had Duke the Drumster Drosy and all that kind of shit. But other than that, I would have loved to have been a fan during that time period. So RJ, are you happy when you started watching when you did?
Yes.
In 2002? And would you have rather started watching earlier or have been born earlier to have been watching during the 80s or 90s? I feel like you wouldn't have liked the 80s, though.
I like the late 90s, I think, more.
Yeah, Attitude Era.
Yeah. But I like exactly where I started. But I think it would be cool. I've always been big into the WCW versus WWE thing. So.
The whole rivalry.
The whole, yeah.
Monday Night Wars.
Monday Night Wars, yeah.
Take my DeLorean back and go back to the Monday Night Wars and be a fan. Sit down in front of the shitty-ass TV screen in 1997 and watch the Monday Night Wars full out. Yeah. I'd be like, WWE's going to buy them out someday. And they're going to be like, fuck, no, that's not happening. Put some money in the Cubbies. Put some money in WWF and make myself a fortune. But anyway, guys, that is hashtag AskGSM here today. Got a little bit longer video than usual, but it's a special edition. We got Marceau here. We got RJ Marceau at RJ_Marceau on the Twitter. RJ's 2 cents on Next Era Wrestling. Check it out. New articles going up all the time. Great content on the website, nextEraWrestling.net, going up almost every single day. A lot of it thanks to this guy. The Marceau Masterpiece.
Gotta get the little variety in there.
Gotta get the variety in there. Sometimes it's about Braun Strowman, sometimes it's about Seth Rollins, sometimes it's opinion, predictions, preview, opinion. You never know what you're gonna get. Oh, that was me. But anyway, guys, that's hashtag AskGSM here today. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. If you want to send in a question, you can tweet me on the Twitter at WrestleRant with the hashtag AskGSM. Find me on the Facebook by leaving a comment on the post I usually put up on Sunday nights at facebook.com/Graham.Matthews, or leave a comment on this very video. I'll be sure to include it in next week's edition. So that's about it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the Super Bowl. Enjoy Raw tonight and Daniel Bryan's apparent retirement, which pretty much sucks, but I'll be live tweeting during the show at WrestleRant on the Twitter. So like I said, for RJ Marceau, I'm Graham G. Matthews. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we'll catch you folks down the road. Oh, you're done with the phone?
Peace.
Okay, give your last final farewell here.
And RJ_Marceau on Twitter.
And
RJ's 2 cents. Wyatt.
Join RJ's place. Get it Raw tonight at the Marceau Residence. Check it out.
In a blizzard.
In a blizzard. I'll be there. Rain, snow, sunshine. I'll be there.
All right.
I'll be there. And for WrestleMania.
And TakeOver.
And TakeOver. I already bought my ticket for SummerSlam. You guys are invited to the Marceau Residence. Even if you're in Alaska, make sure you make the trip to the Marceau Residence. April 3rd.
Yep.
April 1st for TakeOver Dallas.
Yes.
That's first, guys. Check it out. That's
food.
It. Bring food. Otherwise, you're not coming in.
Yep.
So that's it, guys. For RJ Marceau, I'm Graham G. Matthews, and we'll catch you folks down the road.